Matt, heartbreak at the very end for the lads, and yeah, disappointment right at the end.
Yeah, another painful end. For so much of that game, we were certainly the first half in a good position, got ahead, probably deserved to be ahead at half time. Lost a little bit of field position in the second half, seemed to get a little bit deep, and opposition put us under a bit of pressure, but it's still a couple of moments which we can do so much better in, which obviously led to the goals, and the second goal is the timing of it doesn't really give you a chance to get back in the game. 5 minutes before that, Jamie Lindsay's probably had the best chance of that second half, so we could be stood here in a totally different position and not feeling the pain we're feeling right now.
Looking back at the team that started, 4 changes from the side from last week, a bit more experience in there, a bit more maturity, and that really showed in the first half. Yeah,
we just couldn't sustain it. We just couldn't make that last. Change of shape as well, just seemed to settle us in probably a defensive capacity. And generally we were okay in that first half. We can always be better with the ball. We know that we can get more crosses, more shots, and get out our feet a little bit quicker. And there is still a little bit of, even when we're ahead, a little bit of uncertainty and some nerves flying around, some shaky performances. But then in that second half, you're looking at ones who can take us up the pitch and sustain it for long enough to give everyone a little bit of breather from the mental and physical pressure. But even within that, the goals, we're accountable for those moments. It's really disappointing because generally the structure in that second half, despite the field position of it, was okay. But then we've got to put your body in line with the ball a little bit more than we did.
A few shouts from the crowd for their second goal in terms of a foul. Any complaints from your side?
Well, the players were complaining, but I can't stand here and say and use that as an excuse, because there's enough big bodies and enough markers and enough zone men, enough goalkeepers to take care of that situation. It's always a manager's responsibility. Yeah, I'd love to put myself in that situation, or a different profile, a different character, or a different experienced head. But that ball's landed 3 yards out from the middle of the goal, and we've got an awful lot of big players in around that area. So that's a killer blow in terms of this game. But that's also been a little bit of a trend of late in terms of not dealing with that ball under a bit of a physical pressure.
It's a pretty quick turnaround now. Game on Tuesday, and lads back in tomorrow, and a real chance to right some wrongs very quickly.
Yeah. But it builds in terms of the pressure, the expectation, the feel. You could sense that as that game went on. Who can handle that? Who's going to stand up and be counted? Who's going to do what's needed at every single moment of the game? We played against a team of men today, and that kind of grew as the game went on. We need that on Tuesday night, because there's more than enough in this change room and in the staff room to get us through a difficult spell, but we'll need to stay connected for a little bit longer than we did today.
How are you looking forward to October, Matt? Because I think there's 8 games in the month. There's only 1 midweek without a fixture. It's complete opposite to what we've had in September.
Yeah, well, we hope we have a better October than September. It's been a pretty brutal month in relation to that. The results haven't been good enough. We quickly have to move this to one side. I can't use that line, we'd learn from it, because the turnaround's too quick, and put out a team Tuesday and hit that and look to start a month in a slightly different fashion. You can so quickly change in terms of points and feel and positivity. And yeah, it's always on a manager's shoulders in relation to that, but you still look forward to what's next in this industry. The moment you don't look forward to what's next, you're probably in the wrong position.
I was listening to what you were saying to the press in the previous interview around the load of certain players, and how hard can that be to manage when you're trying to win football matches?
Yeah, I mean, look, I very rarely picked a team where you're going to have to make as many physical changes, but that's not to blame anyone. That's my everything's my responsibility. Everything's a manager's responsibility. But you could just sense we lost a little bit of our legs as that game went on. Too many have missed too much and aren't quite in a position to do that. We can go back in time and look at the reasons why, but we just lost a little bit of that energy to get up and at them in that second half. It's a strange scenario, but the biggest thing now will be how many of the ones who probably played the majority of the minutes can back that up to the same capacity on Tuesday, and that will be a challenge.